annual Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference remains the premier Canadian computing conference for young women and non-binary people in technology. It was filled with insightful and engaging talks detailing the career journeys of accomplished women in technology. The 13th Annual Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference was held in Toronto from October 20th to 21st, 2023. More than 650 attendees and more than 30 organizations from across Canada attended the conference. 50 students from Queen's School of Computing were among them. Thanks to the support of our alumni, a group of students were able to attend it for free. On October 20th, we gathered on campus at 1:30 p.m. and took the shuttle bus to Toronto. Although it was cloudy, everyone, especially our first-year students, were very excited. After 2.5 hours, we arrived at Delta Hotels by Marriott Toronto Airport and Conference Centre. During registration, the hall was abuzz with excited students from different universities. Many friends who had met through attending the conference met again and greeted each other warmly. After checking in, we got the registration badge and hotel key, then had a short time to rest in the hotel rooms. The banquet started at 6:30 p.m. with delicious pizzas, salads, and lovely desserts. The keynote speaker of the night was CAN-CWiC actor, software engineer, and engineering manager at Electronic Arts and founder of Wompson in Engineering, a platform where students in the tech industry can directly network with fellow students or industry leaders. CAN-CWiC says in her keynote, "We did not come this far to only come this far, let's dive deep into our perseverance, our collective efforts, and the vast tech landscape." Her story of perseverance and determination, from initially not knowing how to code in her first year of university to working at esteemed companies like Microsoft and IBM during her co-op, was truly motivating. She emphasized the importance of consistency, self-belief, and facing one's fears as key factors in one's journey. The day came to a close after a brief Q&A session. The second day started with the Ontario National Centre for Women and Information Technology Aspirations in Computing National Award presentation by Wendy Powley. In 2019, Professor Powley worked with CAN-CWiC to set up the first international CAN-CWiC Aspirations in Computing Awards for Canadian students. She is also the amazing founder of Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference in 2010. Professor Powley currently heads the steering committee for the annual Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference. We were very lucky to interview her.
So thank you so much for agreeing to have this interview with us, Professor Powley. Could you please tell us how you came up with the idea of starting CAN-CWiC, and what was your predetermined vision for this event?
Okay, so in 2008, which was a long time ago now, I went to the Grace Hopper Celebration, which is a similar type of conference that's held in the US every year. And back then there was about 1,700 people went to the conference, I believe. They're up to almost 30,000 now. But when I went to that conference as a slightly older attendee, what struck me was all of the young people walking around with great big huge smiles on their faces, having the time of their life at this conference. And I came back to Queens and I said to my department head, we need to be sending girls to this conference. Like, it's a great thing to do. It was lots of great information, lots of great people to meet, and just overall a really good time. And he actually responded to that with, why don't you bring the conference here? Which I thought was a crazy, crazy idea. But the more that I thought about it, the more I thought, yeah, why shouldn't we do that? Some of my friends encouraged me to do it. And together with the Queen's Women in Computing, which was then the WISC group, the Women in Computer Science, or the Women in the School of Computing, we started the conference. The vision of the conference was to bring as many people together, young people especially together, to celebrate being in such a great field, to learn from each other, to make connections. And also one of the key things that I learned over the years was that a lot of the students going to the Grace Hopper Conference down in the States were getting snapped up by the big Silicon Valley companies, and basically they were being stolen from Canada. So we had this notion of brain drain where we were training all these great women and they were going to the States to work for jobs. So one of my ideas was to bring a conference like that to Canada where we could have Canadian companies, or at least Canadian um, you know, versions of the companies, whatever, um, come to the conference and recruit students and keep them in Canada. So basically we were creating a Canadian version of the Grace Hopper celebration. This was done, though, under the umbrella of the ACMW celebrations, so the Association of Computing Machinery. They ran these conferences throughout the world, and we became one of those chapters.
Thank you, Professor Powley. In our exclusive interview with Professor Powley, she shares her experience and provides valuable advice to young students. The video can be viewed through the link in the description box. Welcome to watch it. After the award ceremony, 4 keynote speakers shared their professional journeys with all attendees. Victoria Granova addressed the topic of breaking gender biases. Victoria serves as an Amazon Web Service Security Technical Program Manager and has been honored as one of 2021 Canada's top 20 women in cybersecurity. Victoria is a Queen's MBA alumna. She shared valuable statistics regarding the representation of women in STEM fields and underscored the importance of breaking gender biases by inspiring more women to join these fields. Victoria also recounted her personal journey, which began as an accountant with zero computer science knowledge and led to her current role in cybersecurity, exemplifying that women can excel in leadership positions within the industry. Her presentation offered insightful perspectives on diversity and inclusion. Naila Ogair is a senior IT manager at TD, specializing in big data ingestion, data engineering, and data as a service. She is a Queen's Computer Science alumna. Naila started by describing her first computing science course in university, which sparked her passion due to her love for mathematics. Naila candidly discussed her challenges as a migrant in Canada. She recounted how she balanced her studies with teaching mathematics to support her family. Her key advice included listening to your inner voice, creating opportunities, managing finances wisely, and proposing innovative solutions. Her journey took her from managing one person to overseeing a team of 50, all in the field of data and mathematics. It was a powerful testament to perseverance and growth. Christina Fung, Senior Vice President of Consulting Services in the CGI Toronto Banking Group and Global Head of AI Enablement. Christina is a Queen's Engineering alumna. Throughout her career, she has held various leadership positions in Canadian banks, global financial institutions, and global software companies. Her keynote speech was focused on sharing the outlook of generative AI, emphasizing the profound responsibility that AI holds in our world. Her presentation underlined the critical importance of reducing bias in both technology and AI. Christina highlights the urgent need for more women to actively contribute to and influence the tech world. Keaton Curtis Pauline, Managing Director of Portfolio Technical Support at Bank of Montreal. Keaton Curtis Pauline addressed the topic, A Woman in STEM, From Trials to Triumph. She shared her remarkable journey for her 42 years career in BMO, starting as a tape operator responsible for mounting tapes, and progressively climbing the ranks to eventually become the Managing Director. Pauline emphasized the significance of curiosity and inquisitiveness in one's career. She stressed the importance of maintaining a sense of wonder and connecting the dots. This involves asking fundamental questions like, why are we doing things, to drive innovation and progress. Pauline later commented that Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference is a great opportunity for our young women to hear from those already in computing roles, network, and make connections. 4 keynote speakers' speeches brought great inspiration and motivation to young students. They encouraged us to break gender barriers, accept various challenges with firm confidence, and continue exploration in career fields. Thank you for sharing your wonderful stories. Afterwards, parallel panel sessions with leaders in industry and academia started at 10 a.m. We were able to choose speakers among 25 lightning talks, listen to presentations, and directly speak with the professionals. The following list shows some of them. And Marie Salter presented a talk on National Cyber Threat Security Assessment. Fei Han presented a talk on Navigating the AI Era, Preparing for the Future. Mazabine Emu presented a talk on Quantum Computing Era for Optimization. Marwa El-Khatib presented a talk on Bridging Worlds, the proxy product owner role in orchestrating between business vision and IT realities. Maryam Ben Chaban presented a talk on Leveraging Large Language Models, LLMs, for Model Completion. Aldous Bagban Karimi presented a talk on Computer Science Research, Areas, Methodologies, and Resources. Stefan Shetty presented a talk on Leveraging AI and Emerging Technologies for Your Career Journey. Tanjulia Akhtar presented a talk on Unlocking the Gaming Industry, Your Non-Gaming Experience is the Key. Wejdeen Houari presented a talk on Enhancing Efficiency and Reliability via Log Mining and Multi-Objective Optimizations. A lunch and career fair, which consisted of 30 job fair booths, took place from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. In the career fair, students could meet with representatives from the 13th Annual Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference sponsoring companies, such as BlackBerry, TD, Google, and BMO, to explore future career opportunities and receive insightful advice from these professionals. At 4 p.m., all attendees get into the same hall for the last session. It was moderated by Joanne Attlee, a professor at the University of Waterloo, and included Alicia Greeley, Manager of Cryptographic Services and Operations at the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity, Sonia Kulwant-Singh, Team Product Owner, Scrum Lead, and DevOps Engineer at SAP, and Kelly Lyons, Professor at the University of Toronto and Associate Director of the Schwartz-Reisman Institute for Technology and Society. This panel discussion delved into leadership in the tech industry, exploring various career paths, and offering valuable insights. Attendees had the opportunity to ask questions, and the panelists provided informative responses. Then, the conference was finalized. What did the university students think about their two-day experience? Let's have a look at some comments from them on websites. It was exciting to be surrounded by the energy of women in technology, and to hear so many insightful stories that were shared by such passionate speakers. As a university student just beginning to immerse myself within undergraduate computing spaces, I can say with absolute certainty that the Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference has left a significant mark on my technical journey through the exploration of various facets and streams of technology. The networking opportunities at the event were equally rewarding, allowing me to connect with fellow students from universities across Canada. A bustling career fair that presented a myriad of opportunities and a platform to interact with industry leaders. It was enlightening to learn about the various pathways one could take in the tech field. This opportunity to connect directly with industry leaders added an extra layer of depth to an already enriching event. My gratitude to the professors and the organizers for facilitating this opportunity. My takeaway from the conference and the amazing talents and leaders in tech was: say yes to opportunities that come to you. Have relentless resilience. Representation matters. Build meaningful relationships and a supportive community. Without a doubt, the 13th Annual Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference brought great encouragement and inspiration to attendees, providing them with new perspectives and cognitions for career development, encouraging girls to believe in themselves as women and supporting each other in the future. Finally, all the staff and students from Queen's University went to pick up luggages, got dinner boxes, boarded the shuttle bus, and headed back to Queen's. It was an unforgettable experience. The 13th Annual Canadian Celebration of Women in Computing Conference is over, but the 14th conference is already on the way. We hope to meet you all again from October 25th to 26th at the York University Second Student Centre in Toronto, and welcome new students to join.